What's the list when we get to the 2010s? Can we see the 2010s?
Let's check out the 2010s list.
Check out the 2010s now.
Okay, so this is from GameFAQs. Community voted Game of the Decade 2010 to 2019 bracket featuring 128 games that users nominated and voted on in daily polls. So from number 1, we have Breath of the Wild, Witcher 3, Smash Bros. Ultimate, Elder Scrolls Skyrim, Dark Souls, I assume 1, Persona, or maybe the entire series, I don't know. Persona 5, yeah, Xenoblade Chronicles, Red Dead 2, Mass Effect 2, and Minecraft. Huh, interesting.
Damn, Minecraft just about made the list.
Yeah, right? That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Damn, what's crazy is that, okay, Hollow Knight beat Tales of Berseria, understandable. But then Hollow Knight lost to Final Fantasy 15.
That's crazy.
Wow, I can't imagine that.
That is crazy. 15 was so mid. It was so mid.
What is Tales of Berseria doing on this list to begin with, man? Why was it why was it part of the bracket?
Yeah.
Yeah, Hollow Knight had an easy dunk there.
Yeah.
Damn, Borderlands 2 lost to Horizon Zero Dawn. I'm actually shocked by that.
Huh.
I liked Horizon Zero Dawn though.
I did, but Borderlands 2 was great. It was like the one good one.
Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Bloodborne lost to Resident Evil 2.
Yeah.
That's hard to imagine because I feel like, damn, that's the Resident Evil remake of 2, right?
Yeah, it must be.
I can't imagine what the fuck were they smoking in that year where they felt like Bloodborne lost to Resident Evil 2.
Yeah,
That's crazy, right?
That is true.
What a game is smoking. Right? That's nuts.
it is a bit weird.
Right?
Yeah.
Like Resident Evil 2 is a phenomenal game, but Bloodborne is the game that your one friend won't ever shut up about. You've probably got like 5 friends that won't shut up about Bloodborne.
Also, I'm going to say Octopath Traveler 1 winning against Undertale.
What's crazy is that Octopath Traveler lost to Shovel Knight. Like, Shovel Knight's a great game.
Yeah.
But come on.
I mean, yeah, but like, Octopath Traveler 1 was just all right. If it was Octopath Traveler 2, understandable. But I think Undertale was a better game than Octopath Traveler 1.
Yeah, what do you think defines this decade of gaming?
Oh, certainly Grand Theft Auto 5. That's
GTA 5
crazy
for
that it's
sure.
not on this list.
Yeah.
I mean, look,
We are in a Grand Theft Auto world right now. Grand Theft Auto 5 is still one of the most popular games. Minecraft, still one of the most popular games.
Yeah, but it lost to Persona 4 Golden.
Which is insane.
That's great. Look, I love P4,
Look,
but I can't say it's a better game than GTA 5.
there is no metric apart from maybe if
insane.
you're a deep anime fan, that GTA 5, you could honestly look me in the eye and tell me Persona 4 Golden deserves it. You just can't. You know what I mean? You just can't in good faith say that to me.
Look, I just feel like whoever's running this list or this tournament arc, there's a bunch of weebs because Ori and the Blind Forest lost to Fire Emblem as well. It's basically, it goes down to like anime versus anime.
Yeah.
Dude, okay, like, yeah, look, like Persona 4 Golden winning against GTA 5 was already insane enough, but then it lost to Xenoblade Chronicles.
Look, Persona 4 Golden lost to beat Red Dead Redemption as well.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
I just don't know about that.
Yeah.
So,
Also,
yeah.
even like this division, like Cuphead. What an amazing game.
Cuphead beat XCOM 2.
XCOM 2 also a fucking amazing game. One of the only great strategy games that in a genre that has been stagnant for a long time. And it did such an amazing job.
Yeah. Which decade you going for then? Because
Dude, it's hard.
I mean, here's the thing, right? So the 90s, we have a bunch of foundational classics that have shaped gaming today. 2010s, we have a bunch of nostalgia, a bunch of weird games, but they are basically pushing it in the direction that the 2010s ultimately solidifies and finds their niche for what will be the titans: Minecraft, Grand Theft Auto, Super Mario Brothers Ultimate again. Yeah, Persona. These are like the really big games that finally get into their stride, I feel like, and truly at this point we are in like the apex of nowadays the popularity of video games and the pop culture recognizability of each one.
Also the 2010s has the massive advantage that the other decades don't have, which is like the rise of the indie scene. Like we had so many fucking, like, just based on the last thing that we saw, like the brackets and stuff, even though they lost ultimately in the bracket, like just you know, some of the most fucking genre-defining indie games, you know, like Cuphead, like, you know, I think I saw VVV there as well. Like, you know, it's much smaller, but just interesting ideas for video games that have come out.
I think even in the 2020s, we'll see even more indies.
Yeah, totally.
Totally. Some of the best games I've played have all been indie.
Yeah, 100%.
Do we have a list for the 2020 so far, or
is Soma? Did Soma come out in 2019?
I think it was 2010s.
That would be in my top 10. Easily.
Yeah, that would be my top 10 as well.
I still need to work my way through that one.
It might be my favorite game of the 2010s. Might be.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like I look at the list and it's just, if I had to pick a decade out of all of these, it's hard. But I'm like, I feel like the 2000s had so many like foundational classics as well, and this was the PS2 era. This was an era where I feel like AAA, you know, the AAA studios were actually like pulling through, and we didn't have to rely on like indie games and I feel like the more that time has gone on, the more that obviously video games got more popular, more commercialized, the more that you looked at like these big studios and they just weren't delivering the same bangers that they used to, and now that's why the indie game scene is so big.
True.
And yeah, the PS2 fucking GameCube era, man, that to me is like peak.
It might be slightly rose-tinted glasses, but also we had so many good games come out. We had so many good games come out in the 2000s, bro. God.
There's just too many good games, I think.
There's just too many good games.
I feel like it was the era where game development wasn't so expensive that, you know, we had to wait like fucking half a decade between new game releases. But
I mean, I think that's where indies have been really pulling their weight and kind of showing like, look, you can make a game that sells bonkers without needing to have 500 staff work on it. You can,
totally.
Even Sandfall with Expedition 33.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that team was quite small.
Yeah.
And they made arguably
you know, in Silksong,
the most accredited game of all time.
Yeah.
Or accolades. I don't know what it was. Fuck.
Well, the most awarded. The most awarded game at the Game Awards.
Awarded. Totally. Oh my God, yeah. That was a rough Game Awards to watch there. And the winner is Expedition. Okay, all right.
Again.
You start to feel bad at a certain point. You're like, even if I was winning that many, I'd be like, all right, guys, fucking.
Can we not?
That's just embarrassing.
Yeah.
It looks bad, guys. Come on.
Yeah. If you had to pick 2000s, you'd say?
I would say 2000s.
I think I would say 2000s as well. Just, again, there might be some nostalgia involved in that biases, but my God.
Nah, let's go 90s.
So many bangers. Well, 90s as well, dude. Like, I have a lot of...
Super Mario 64.
I have some of my favorite games of all time were from the 90s. And, you know, I lived through that shit as a kid, and some of the most replayed games in my rotation is from the 90s. So, yeah, you can't hate that shit. For sure.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Hard tie, I think, between 90s and 2000s for me. As good as 2010s gaming has been.
It's ironic that the medium that is obviously based on so much technology, we're like, nah, the old ones are better. Nah.
Yeah. that retro era, bro, has a charm to it that can't be replicated.
Limitations, you're right. Limitations breeds, you know, creativity.
Totally.
I think a lot. And,
totally.
I feel like I think there is a reason why a lot of the IPs made in these eras are still being sold to us as kind of like nostalgia to be like, hey guys, there's a new Halo coming out, guys.
Why do you think we haven't seen any Gacha games on the 2010s, Grant? Do you think we'll see any in the 2020s list?
Well, Gacha games didn't really get big until Genshin, which was 2020s.
I thought it was 2019.
It might have come out in 2019, but
obviously it like really got its stride.
It got its stride thanks to COVID. When did Genshin? And Genshin.
2020.
No. Genshin.
On my birthday.
Damn. Woo. No, because as someone who was aware of the gacha space, before Genshin, it was basically just gacha game was a lot of just, you know, mobile
PNG,
games.
Yeah,
PNG kind of mobile games. And Genshin kind of like changed everything to be like, hey, here's a game that feels more like your traditional AAA game that has gacha mechanics on it. And obviously it was fucking the money printer that
took
it was.
over the world.
And yeah, I mean, yeah, the gacha space is very, very different now. To the point where I don't know how much it has defined the era of the 2020s.
Yeah, it's almost in its own genre, isn't it?
Yeah.
In a weird way.
Yeah.
Even though it is so well known and is so well, like, you know, all encompassing now that anyone can like pick up a gacha game and start playing it if they wanted to. It's usually for, you know, for multiple reasons not included in the conversations of the GOATs. Even if the player base is so massive and the money it generates is so, you know, extravagant.
Well, it always wins the Players' Choice Awards.
That's so cringe.
In the Game Awards.
It also does
so
birth
cringe.
some of the most rabid fan bases too, for better or worse, you know? So
It is interesting how like they do, you know, they do cultivate fan bases that are pretty aggressive about their game.
yeah.
Yeah, tribalism in the gacha space is massive.
Why is that? Why do you think that happens? Is it, you think it's like a sunk cost fallacy where it's like, I put so much time and money into this.
A lot of money's on the line.
I got to make sure everyone thinks this is cool.
Yeah.
I don't even think it's the, like, because it's easy to look at it and it's easy to be like, oh, a person has put this much money into it. But I think the biggest thing that gacha games cost you is time, you know?
Yeah.
It's really, really hard to play more than like 2 gacha games. If you're playing 3, I just assume you're unemployed. Like, because the time investment you need to sink into it to do like multiple dailies and keep up with multiple quest lines and all the updates to come out, I'm like, where are you getting the time from, brother? Where are you getting the time from?
It's like you wake up and all you play is gacha games until you fall asleep.
Yeah, it's like you are adding a part-time job on top of your full-time job. You know, if you're taking on like 3 or 4.
True.
I don't know how some people do it.
Unemployment, eh?
Yeah.